wonderful to be back in Washington. I love being in Washington. The last time I was in D.C., I left my cocaine at the White House. Luckily, the president was able to put it to good use for his State of the Union. I'm kidding, of course. The president doesn't call it cocaine. He calls it high-speed rail.
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATP with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time. Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? As always, I am Christian Bladt. He is Eric Zane. EZ, how are you today? Thanks so much for being here.
Never better. Thank you for having me. We are the new dynamic team in this whole network after the recent stumbles of Carl deciding to go all politics. I'm just glad to be here. Just glad to be here.
There's been a little bit of politics on WATP, but it's an election year. It's hard to avoid. I'm just glad that WATP covered the Smartless interview with Biden, Bill Clinton, and Obama, so we didn't have to. So
Yes.
Thank you, Carl.
Yes.
I much appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, EZ, but I'm just not feeling it today.
No?
So I really need to get hyped up. And there's only one person who can hype me up, and that's Eric Zane.
Griffin's Nation, we've been here before. We're ready for this. Any doubts, concerns, or tensions you may have, erase them from your minds. It's going to take each and every one of you in this building to help get the job done. There is no other fan base more invested, more proud, and more deserving than you. Thought that the van was loud during the regular season. Let's show them what playoff loud is like. Oh no. These walls.
Those walls.
They feel the vibrations. The chants of "Let's go Griffins" ring through the building. The players hear it and they can feel it. You want to make an impact. Right now, I need all of you to get on your feet because this is our house. 2024 Calder Cup playoffs begin now. The Rockford Ice Hogs and your Grand Rapids Griffins. Here we go.
Woo! I feel like Howard Dean. Oh my God, I wasn't ready, but now I'm so fucking ready, Eric.
Yeah! Oh my God.
I love the look. I love everything about that video, Eric. But mostly, as I messaged you, my favorite thing was the fact that you look like you just got done parking cars, possibly for Avis rental car. That might be sort of double up on the red jacket.
I had numerous things saying, are you seating people at a 1970s movie theater?
Our buddy Liam McEnany, somewhere a casino greeter's missing a suit. Oh, wait. Carl Hamburger with the hot take. F the Griffins. Let's go Amerks. I guess I said that right.
That would be Amerks, yes.
Yeah, okay,
but,
I was close.
Doesn't matter. No one outside of Rochester, fucking New York knows who the Amerks are, so it doesn't matter.
Well, also our friend Count Eric Connor, I'm here for Blatt Full Frontal or Zane Clothed. You're getting both of those things. Well, now that everybody in the audience is pumped up, Zane,
Yep.
let them know how they can share their excitement with us financially.
Well, after all of that excitement that you've been given, I wouldn't be surprised if we're millionaires by the end of this. But if you want Christian to sign off by saying something that you want him to say, like maybe how wet the tip of his dick is after seeing that video, you have to attach a dollar amount to it. And whoever has the high, I can't. That joke says, I've seen hookers with better acting skills. You queef.
Thank you, Dwyer Christian. You said what we were all thinking.
Thank you. Anyway, attach a dollar amount to it, and then Christian will finish the show with it. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, and I'll definitely be able to finish after seeing that. Ken Connor also says that outfit also works for performing mass baptisms. Sam Bilby's onto something. Though. Guys, stop being so mean.
Yeah, really.
And full credit to Eric. You sent me that, knowing that I was going to play.
Oh yeah, it had to be.
It wasn't like Reverend Shitstain kind of, was like, hey, I don't think Zane will want you to see this. So if nothing else, we love looking stupid on our own show.
I had references to former pro wrestler. No, I should say wrestling manager Jim Cornette, if those who know, and also Ron Burgundy was given a nod.
Well, Ron Burgundy is all the rage the last couple days because he showed up at something we'll talk about later, the Tom Brady roast for Netflix. Liam McEnany, now I'm stoked for 7-year-old weatherman bloopers. Did you figure out the cheat codes for this show? Have you been looking over my shoulder while I'm preparing? Well, he's not entirely wrong, but I'll tell you right now, he's not a weatherman. But let's head over to local news.
Others imitate it. We appreciate it.
So obviously a lot of what makes up this show are bloopers, on-air mistakes, and goofs and the like. But one of the things that I hate are when the on-air people think that something that went wrong is hysterical, and it's just not. I've got 3 of these. Yes. Case in point.
In Susquehanna County have people fed up. Sorry, PennDOT held a forum tonight for residents to explain what's next. Fox 56's Victoria Halicard joins us live in Montrose to explain how much longer drivers have to wait. Victoria.
She doesn't know, does she?
I think she's got no patience for it. And look, it's funny that he said effed up, but then he's like, I mean, did you hear, Victoria? I don't know what you're doing, when you get back to the studio, but keep the yellow jacket on. And
speaking of fucked up, look at Victoria's nose. Jesus Christ!
Oh no!
Look at that thing. It looks like she's getting ready to do the Humpty dance.
I bet it. She does look like she once got busy in the Burger King bathroom. I was struggling to find a joke. Yours was better, so we'll just move on. So all right, so that's that one. And I don't know. I mean, look, it's funny. Eric, I'm not gonna say that it's not funny that he said effed up instead of fed up, but you're a professional, for God's sake. I mean, he could have kept it together, right? That wasn't like, the weatherman's cock fell out in front of the green screen.
Yeah, but I think that of the 3, though, this one might be the most, I guess, palatable or able to process it as it being okay because he didn't laugh that long and that hard. He just had a little chuckle out of it.
Yeah, well, here's a couple of gals just having fun on the local news.
Fire charity game will take place at the Mountain View Arena this Saturday at 2 p.m. Central. Cheers for the guns or the hoses. This while benefiting local organizations. They're not hose. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Guns and hoses. What a
because
Monday
she said hose.
Day has been.
Yeah. And that's it.
That's it. We will have those events on our website. Welcome back, Megan.
Happy to be back.
I love it. All right.
Yeah. So
Megan,
go ahead.
She's trying to show some tit there a little bit.
Yeah. You know what? I've definitely got the wrong positioning here for our visual audience. Megan seems like she's a little bit of fun, and I don't know about the gal on the left, but I feel like the guy who said effed up in the last clip would ditch Victoria in a second if he could just smell the seat that either of these two sat in. But
all right,
I mean, look, yeah, but it's not like that hysterical. So first of all, I mean, the event's called Guns and Hoses. That's hysterical right there, because I don't know if you get it, Eric, but there's the band Guns N' Roses.
Right,
Like,
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And cops use guns to kill black people, and hoses is what they use to put out the fire.
Yeah, or if they're trying to get them out of the street. Yeah, exactly. But there are two things that you use when a certain part of the population gets unruly. You use both guns and hoses.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Exactly. But I don't know. So they obviously annoyed me just how much fun they were having. But this guy, I think I'm going to say I like this clip the most because the guy has fun with it. He runs with it a little long, though.
About 175,000 rice. I think that was supposed to be pantries.
Pantries, Eric.
I couldn't warn you before I saw it, and I couldn't warn you, Eric. I'm just so.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? What is he laughing at?
Let's go back.
Check your panties.
Okay.
Check your panties.
Okay.
About 170.
Yeah. Okay. So he's like, okay. And
5,000 rice. I think that was
because he didn't say pantries.
Check your.
I couldn't warn you before I saw it, and I couldn't warn you, Eric. I'm just so.
That's the Ron Burgundy thing.
Yeah, she's the one I really hate in the clip, and we never even actually see her. She's like, I tried to warn you. Just move on. It's okay. All right. Well, this is a story that was making the rounds a couple weeks ago. We didn't have a chance to get to it because, God damn it, our show's just been so jam-packed and so busy with so many great clips. And I was excited about this news story, Eric, because down in Brazil, I guess they're working on rebooting a beloved film franchise, Weekend at Bernie's.
Brazil wheeled her uncle's corpse into a bank trying to get a sign-off on a loan. The 68-year-old man had been dead for hours before being brought into the bank. The security camera footage shows the woman asking the corpse to sign some documents at a bank in a Rio suburb. It doesn't end there, in fact, cautioning over the man's deteriorating health. The woman proceeds to sneakily sign the papers on his behalf. The bank staff was also seen inquiring about the man's health, who evidently looked unconscious. Suspicious and concerned, the bank staff prompted the police. The woman, Erica Vieira Nunez, was later arrested over fraud charges. As per police, Nunez tried to wheel in her deceased uncle to grab a $3,250 loan on the man's name.
Here, but then there's also
Post the arrest, the corpse was taken to the morgue, while Nunez's lawyer said that the man died in the bank. Police forensic records suggest that he had died earlier while lying down.
So yeah, there's the video of them just wheeling him into the wheelchair. Principled uncertainty with a valid question. Is this Biden voting?
I have never at the same time had such a stiff dick from that reporter and be so mortified at the story at the same time.
Yeah. My question is, Eric, that report for our visual audience really did us a disservice. Now, the audio is just in Portuguese, so it's a little low, but they blurred out the best part. So here's the guy.
Oh no.
So, I mean, look.
Oh, he
it's
is
hysterical.
So dead. He is so dead.
Like, she's like, no, come here.
Oh my God.
And the best is the part where she's about to hand him the pen. Please sign this check made out to me, someone you may or may not know.
Wow.
All right. And does she think that it's going to work? That he's like, oh yeah, maybe I'll be able to get him to sign it if I just start to move it. Yeah.
Holy shit. That is so fucked up. I can't even, that's nightmare fuel seeing that shit. Oh,
well, I think that's probably why most versions of the clip did pixelate him out. But we're adults here, Eric. I think we can see the tough stuff.
Oh, that's going to stay with me. That was rough. Oh, that is incredible.
So that's not a laugh a minute like the two 80s comedies.
It
Weekend at
was.
Bernie's. Oh, okay.
It was, but I'm fascinated. I want to see more stuff with that guy. Like literally similar to the movie.
Right, exactly. I mean, look, they could just remake both movies and put that guy in it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thought you might have that reaction. So let's cleanse our palate from the Great White North. A demonstration of some kind of motorized snow machine, as they call them up there.
The moon bike can go 42 kilometers an hour max, taking about 30 minutes to go through the rural Rivers Trail, and the key trick is really leaning into it.
Oh, you idiot. You idiot.
Well, I love that everyone on her crew is just laughing. Yeah, there's no one running to help because, look, it's not that serious.
No.
It's as soon as you see that there's a fence in this video, you're like, okay, there's only one way this can end. And there's a lot of road that she could have steered onto without hitting the fence.
Of course, the chick is going to drive it right off the road.
Yeah.
What
Do you think I would have shared that clip if a guy was driving it?
No, well, it would never have happened.
Yeah.
Women
Exactly.
can't drive. It's plain and simple.
Well, let's head over to some national newscasting. So Dwyer Christian, their tits detour their ability to turn handlebars. See, if it's funny enough, we'll put it up for free. What was that super chat that Nicola, I literally can't drive, not allowed. But here's the thing, you realize it, you know. And yeah, Count Eric Connor, if this reboots Weekend at Bernie's, it's worth it. Yeah, look, I mean, the guy doesn't know, he's already dead. You know, I mean, it's really
I hope my family does that to me. Gets a few laughs out of it. Maybe a few bucks on the side.
So we've been enjoying over the last month or so sharing clips from a show called Daily Blast Live, which is the fun local morning show for markets that don't have a local morning show. And I decided that if I'm going to keep showing clips where this guy looks stupid, I'm going to look up his name. Our friend Al Jackson is the gentleman of African descent on the panel. Gay Eric Zane, I will continue to only call Gay Eric Zane. I refuse to learn that guy's name. But we're going to have, the blonde lady's going to set up Al Jackson here to really shine.
Everyone's been talking about the album, of course, and even Taylor celebrated some.
So again, bad setup on my part, but I'm new to broadcasting. This is about the new Taylor Swift album. So this is the setup for it.
Everyone's been talking about the album, of course, and even Taylor celebrated some positive reviews she received. One publication chose to make the reviewer anonymous for fear of Swifties coming after them. The lengthy review from Pace magazine says this is, quote, Swift's worst lyricism to date.
What we're seeing now, because don't forget, fan is short for fanatic.
Right.
Thank you, Al.
These are people that are fanatical. That means you're not thinking in your right mind. And what we're seeing is groupthink. We're saying if you don't like this, then you are not tall enough to ride this ride. So anybody that dissents is literally threatened with physical violence. And it's not, obviously not all the fans. It's not most of the fans. But out of 300 million, 2% is, I don't know, a couple thousand. I'm bad at math, but it's enough people.
It's 6 million, Al Jackson. 2% of 300 million is 6 million. And I know it was a long way to go to get there, Eric, but I love that man.
Yes, he must be protected. I love him too. I love how serious he takes the whole idea of Swifties actually doing something bad to someone. Like anyone would ever even believe that. Like any Swiftie is capable of doing anything bad.
Well, you also noticed he's like, it's not all the Swifties.
Right.
It's not all the Swifties.
And now he's going to get it, and he's going to freak out.
Exactly. But, again, he might be protected. By the way, when he does this show, he wears those glasses just like I do when I do this show. But
Right.
If you go to his website to see his stand-up dates, he's not wearing glasses. His stand-up dates, none announced right now. So hopefully Al Jackson gets.
I didn't know he's a stand-up. He's a stand-up?
I didn't either. So apparently neither does America, Eric, because no gigs currently booked for Al Jackson. But we can hope that the WATB bump helps him out. All right, let's head over for some talk show fun.
I said, can you dig it?
I think so.
WATB. Now who are these talk shows? Just who are these talk shows?
To Wired Christian, Chad Zumach opens for this Midler. It's funny that you mentioned Zumach because he did some shows over the weekend with our buddy Don Jameson and Jim Florentine, and it made me realize, Don Jameson's a Midler. Because he's not the opener. That's Zumach. And look, Don's great. I love Don, but Florentine's a headliner. So Don, you're officially a Midler. Maybe you could get discount Don to open for you. But I'm glad that came up. In any case, so I have to thank Cranberry Electric on the Discord. You didn't know how many electrics there were, did you, Eric?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I know
there's
Cardiff Electric, but
Cranberry Electric sent this to us. I love this clip. It doesn't matter what it's actually about because Anderson Cooper's guest does not want to talk about what Anderson Cooper wants to talk about. And it takes old Andy a moment to realize that.
They've late today said that Jacob was armed with a knife, didn't comply, that he had fought with police and put an officer in a headlock. I know you aren't able to say much about this, but were you aware of this? Is that accurate?
Some people say Brussels sprouts taste good.
Oh, no. I don't get the reference.
I hate Brussels sprouts.
You don't want to talk about this.
Oh no!
Some people say Brussels sprouts taste good. Yeah, I don't follow. I hate Brussels sprouts. Anderson, you're a Brussels sprout. God damn it.
That little smirk over Anderson's mouth. I thought he was going to burst out in his silly laugh again. Jesus Christ.
If it was New Year's Eve, he would have started giggling like a schoolgirl. But I just love that sort of misdirect of like, no, I'm going to talk about Brussels sprouts until you move on.
I wouldn't have gotten it though. I would not. I would have been like, "What? What the fuck? What are you talking about?"
I guess they're okay. I like broccoli too, but your son shot this guy, right?
Yeah, is that?
I don't know why we're talking about vegetables here.
Is that supposed to be like collard greens? Is this a black food reference? I don't understand. Let me pump you up. Let's go, Griffins.
Well, another suggestion from the Discord. This one from Japanese Fart Enthusiast. And Brussels sprouts don't fight the police. Great point from our friend JFK Head Chunk. Japanese Fart Enthusiast sent this to us. And a rapper named Glorilla was on CNN talking about going to the White House and meeting the president and vice president. At least that's what the description said. You tell me if that's what it sounds like this clip is about, Eric.
Okay.
How popular you are, how talented of an artist you are, how many accolades and nominations and everything you've got going on, at least with what you have planned for the summer coming ahead with a concert and a tour. The idea of them inviting you there in particular, did they talk to you about what they wanted politically? Did they want your endorsement? Did they want you to help people get out the vote?
Jesus, let her talk.
Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden. But, I'm not going to, talk politics, but I love the president. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody. And at the end of the day got to end.
Do you want to take back your insistence that she let her talk and perhaps go back to filibustering over her?
Oh, wow. Jesus. I don't get this reference.
Yeah, that one doesn't make any sense to me, actually.
I don't know. I think
you know what?
Dwyer Christian might have meant that for someone else. I don't understand.
And I also think that's a typo because he used the word chimp, and I think he was talking about Chip Chipperson
or
obviously.
champ, maybe champ.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, she was definitely like a lot of times, guys, look, we're older, we're slower, we're not as sharp as you guys. You have to explain your super chats to us sometimes.
Yes.
This one is pretty cut and dried, though. I know that this whole show could be clips from The View, so I'm very mindful of just how many View clips I pull. But in this one, I think it's fairly clear that Whoopi Goldberg hates her co-host, Sunny Hosteen.
Ran down the hallway.
The rapture is here.
The rapture's here. And then also I learned that the cicadas are coming.
Cicadas.
Although I love for the first time in like
No.
100 years.
No.
Two different. Well, this is what I read.
There's
Two different times.
Two different kinds of cicadas.
Yes, 2 different
coming.
times are coming.
The good cicadas and the bad
But
cicadas.
for the first time in many, many years.
No,
And
every 17 years this happens.
Well,
I think Whoopi's like, I hate this bitch. And I think the feeling, could be mutual. But I think, I don't know, on a panel show like that, somebody says cicadas, you either make a joke or you just leave it there and let them look stupid on their own.
Yeah,
Whoopi's like, no, I'm not having it.
No, she can't. She's had it. I think I don't know if she's not long for the show or she's going to make sure she's doing something to sabotage her. She looks like she's part of the film, the fucking Fifth Element. Holy shit!
She does have a very Luc Besson look to her. There's I don't know. Yeah, the wardrobe department is like, we're gonna try some different things here. This comes from this is a talk show. It's essentially a podcast, but it's a video show. It's called No Fugazi, and a female guest is trying to talk about the importance of women in the miracle of life. And Eric, I feel like when this clip's over, neither you nor I are going to have any notes for the gentleman who corrects her.
The body of a woman is the creator of life. I'm sorry.
That's false.
The ass, everything. We create life.
No. Let me correct you. Women bring about life. Men create life. In my nutsack right now, I got 80 billion life forms living in me. Your eggs are dead until a man puts life form in you. Furthermore, you only have an X chromosome. Men hold the X and the Y chromosome. So we also dictate the sex of the baby. So you should be thanking your father for creating you because your mother only brought you to term. But your father is your creator.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Wow. I give him so much credit for maintaining that pace and tempo and assertiveness despite those daggers being burned into him by those two. Wow, that guy is a fucking champion.
Yeah, but Eric, when you're right, you're right. No lies. You can't sue him for slander, as they say.
Fucking hey, that was great. What a brilliant man that is. They didn't say shit after that.
They do say that not all heroes wear capes, but all heroes have 80 million unborn lives in their nutsack, Eric.
Jeez.
All right. Let's keep the fun rolling over in politics.
A lot of people talking about Christian and Carl's segment, making it great with who are these politics?
Dwyer Christian, his cock wears a cape. Dwyer Christian has like the greatest streak of never needing to pay for anything.
No.
Liam McEnany letting me know that he's going to see The Fall Guy at 12:30 in IMAX at AMC Burbank. End the show early and join me. I have already seen The Fall Guy, but it's not like me to turn down a chance to hang out with the great Liam McEnany. But I think that everyone should try and make social plans with me in the super chats. Because if he just chatted that, we wouldn't have talked about it. But he put $5 on it,
Yeah.
So
well done.
Well, as we start off in the realm of politics, again, I have to thank Japanese Fart Enthusiast for this clip. Eric, this might surprise you, but growing up and really to this day, I've always been a bit of a nerd. And one of the things that I really have always enjoyed and continue to is Star Wars, and I've never hated Mark Hamill more than in this clip. Though he was visiting the White House, which that's fine, but then he went down to the briefing room for some shtick. There's a 3-minute clip out there. I'm not going to make you or our audience sit through it. It's not great, but this would be the cringe of Mark Hamill's life, keeping in mind that he co-starred in Burt Kreischer's movie The Machine. He played his father in it. This is worse than Burt Kreischer's movie.
Oh no!
You know, I called him Mr. President. He said, "You can call me Joe," and I said, "Can I call you Joe B1 Kenobi?"
Why does he look like he has ALS? I mean, is that part of the bit?
I think you might have the right first letter, but maybe a different abbreviation for what might be afflicting young Skywalker here. But I asked him if I could call him Joby-Wan Kenobi.
Jesus, Michael J. Fox looks better than him right now. Holy fuck.
I would love a video of Michael J. Fox watching this and just goofing on Mark Hamill.
God. Joby-Wan Kenobi, what a dick.
Joby-Wan Kenobi, and I never would have seen that clip if not for Japanese fart enthusiasts. I might still have some degree of appreciation for Mark Hamill that episode 8 didn't already destroy. But keeping it on politics, last week we visited with your girl, Kristi Noem, and the headlines have not really died down for her. I'm going to sort of do this a little bit out of order because this is the topic that we talked about last week. So her new book is coming out. She's doing a lot of book press. She talked about how she put down her dog, mostly because she didn't like him, but also,
right.
I guess he killed a chicken or something. But don't put the dogs around chickens. But anyway, so that's kind of been following her around. And Margaret Brennan, who hosts Face the Nation on CBS, wanted to talk to her because, well, I guess Kristi Noem has her sights set on another dog.
The book, you say the very first thing you would do if you got to the White House that was different from Joe Biden is you'd make sure Joe Biden's dog was nowhere on the grounds. Commander, say hello to Cricket. Are you doing this to try to look tough?
So the dog she put down, of course, was Cricket. And she's saying, Commander, say hello to Cricket.
Do you still think that you have a shot at being a VP?
You don't.
Well, number one, Joe Biden's dog has attacked 24 Secret Service people.
What?
So how
Why
many
does she look like a stripper?
Is enough people to be attacked and dangerously hurt?
She looks like she put her makeup on with Homer's fucking makeup gun set on whore.
Well, look, I think that she probably had a double shift at the poll after this.
Wow.
She is doing the interview remote.
I used to think she was attractive. She looks like a goddamn panda bear with that eye makeup on.
I think as recently as last week, you thought she was attractive.
Yeah, I don't think that anymore. Now she looks like fuck.
Well, here's the thing about Kristi Noem. The dog story is only one of the things that have been following her this week. And there are many clips from many shows that are similar to this, but Margaret Brennan gets the spotlight shown on her because she was the first one to talk to her about this.
Remember when I met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un? I'm sure he underestimated me, having no clue about my experience staring down little tyrants. I've been a children's pastor after all. Did you meet Kim Jong-un?
Well, as soon as this was brought to my attention, I certainly made some changes and looked at this passage. And I've met with many, many world leaders. I've traveled around the world.
Well, I will go back to the clip, Eric. From the way that she answered it, do you think that she met Kim Jong-un?
No.
Do you think there's any chance in the world
No.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I should give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you'll interpret her answer better than I did. Maybe she'll get to it.
As soon as it was brought to my attention, we went forward and have made some edits. So I'm glad that this book is being released in a couple of days and that those edits will be in place and that people will have the updated version.
So you did not meet with Kim Jong-un. That's what you're saying.
No, I met with many, many world leaders. Many world leaders. I traveled around the world, I think.
You asshole. You fucking dick. You dick bitch asshole.
So you're saying not VP material. She FaceTimed him in Chatterbait. Look, that would be a great answer. And you could say like, well, I video conferenced with him and he underestimated me because, and she has what she thinks is a pretty big laugh line about teaching Sunday school,
Is there something wrong with just saying no? I never met him. I don't know why that's in there.
Well, it's in the book. So then if you admit it, you're saying like, yeah, I lied. But in some of the press that's happened after this, some of the interviewers are even trying to let her throw her ghostwriter under the bus, but she won't. She doesn't take the bait. But this clip is a little bit long, but right in the middle, she starts a tactic that is going to drive you crazy. But let's watch Margaret circle back.
That period of time, the leader of South Korea was a female president. I'm wondering, who is it that you confused Kim Jong-un with?
Well, I think you need to remember, Margaret, and everybody needs to remember that I've worked on ag policy and federal policy for over 30 years.
Do we need to remember?
My time in serving and making
she's
policies
talking down
in this
to her.
country has been extensive. And
you need to remember,
decades.
Margaret.
Right, but you never went to
I make
North
no
Korea.
Specifics in this book. I talk about the fact that, yes, I have. I've been there. So
you went to
need
North Korea?
You went to the DMZ, and there are details in this book that talk.
Let me pause for a moment. So she's saying that she went to the DMZ, which, that's the section between South and North Korea.
Right.
So that's like, saying like, oh, I fucked Jennifer Love Hewitt because I saw her at a meet and greet and I took a picture with her. I stood next to her. So it might as well be that I fucked her.
Wow.
Talk about going to the DMZ and specifics that I'm willing to share. There's some specifics I'm not willing to share with you. I've traveled the world and I visited with world leaders, and some of that is referenced in the book. And this anecdote is something that, when it was brought to my attention, we made some changes. And when the book's released, we'll do all that we can to see that is reflected.
Okay. Well, I'm asking about that specifically because you made the point to bring him up twice, and that he was a little tyrant.
Do you have a question for me, Margaret?
Yes, I do.
And that is the title of this episode. Do you have a question for me, Margaret? And Deanna Marie says, oh, I get it. She's retarded. I think that, maybe she's not as sharp at the political double talk as some people. So Margaret does have a question for her. So that was one tactic she tried, was, do you have a question for me, Margaret? Let's see what she tries next, Eric. This is going to be your favorite part.
North Korea is a treaty ally. North Korea is a nuclear-armed adversary. So that's a pretty big thing to confuse.
Oh, did you hear what she just said?
Yes, I know what's next. I know what's happening.
So she says, hello. So we'll keep it going.
To confuse. I know you read this book before it was published because you.
So now she's saying, I'm sorry. So she's trying to make it that she can't hear her. But because of the delay, we hear Margaret's question echoing back on her microphone. So
this is incredible. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is why I carved out 15 minutes for this.
Oh,
but this clip does not end, Eric.
Release video of your recording of the audiobook. You didn't catch these errors when you were recording it?
So she does go back to answering questions because she realizes that I'm sorry, I don't hear you. She realized it wasn't going to work. So
she eventually started communicating with her?
Yeah. So she goes back in. Yeah. Oh. So I thought, the little bit of credit that I'm going to give her is that she decided to not pull the ripcord on it. She was like, I'm really having trouble hearing you. No, that's
No,
going to
it's
look even
fixed.
worse than this.
It must have just fixed itself. You know, tech. It was just a tech issue. Whatever. You know,
exactly.
This thing was acting up.
You're talking about a book that hasn't been released yet, that's been corrected before it's been released, and you haven't said one thing about Joe Biden saying that he was in prison with Nelson Mandela, that he started the civil rights movement.
If I had an interview with Joe Biden, who I've asked for multiple times, I will definitely ask him about his record, but I'm asking you about your book here, which we have.
Right. She keeps talking about how the book is being corrected. And I'm assuming that, you know, it's come out today, this book. This was on Sunday.
Right.
So I guess the digital version, you can probably correct it. You know, you could take out the name Kim Jong-un and just say, some Koreans underestimated me, and it's fine. But Margaret is holding the book in her hand.
Yeah.
And no, it's in here.
And it's just remarkable that Noem, however you say it, she's doing this because she wants publicity for the book. This is what you get when you promote your own book. You get it. And for her to, I mean, she's agreeing to do this. She's making it seem like it's like she's being forced to do this against her fucking will.
Yeah, right. Exactly. There's, you know, Cricket with a shotgun just off camera, just making her stay there. Let's finish up with Kristi Noem.
Asking for why am I being treated differently than every other person that you've interviewed? I've looked at your last several weeks of your interviews. You don't interrupt other people. You let them talk. Thank you for inviting me to have this conversation about this book.
Connor, I think her dog got off easy.
Oh my God. She makes Trump seem reasonable.
Yeah. Well, because he's good at that. He's very good at yeah. I mean, he had a lifetime before he ever ran for office to I don't want to answer that question. So I'm going to figure out a way to talk that doesn't answer the question. But so I didn't go and pull, but she did a number of appearances throughout Sunday and Monday, and it's everyone asking her about Kim Jong-un. Some people ask about the dog, but everybody's trying to get her to say, and she won't say that, I made it up or there was a mistake. So she gives the same answer every time, and it basically always sounds kind of like this.
This book is extremely important to the people of this country. It is important because it's a how-to guide of what they can do to have input into their government, how we need breakers and builders in this world. And I'm taking responsibility for the change that we've made.
And for the mistake in the book.
And I told you that, and I'm, it's not. What I've said is that I have
You're
decided
not taking responsibility for the mistakes in the book.
I've decided this, and I'm saying that this book is very, very good, and I've met with many.
Yeah,
you're right.
The book is very, very good, and I've met with a lot of world.
You know, I thought for a second she was going to be a solid VP candidate. I really did, but I don't know if Trump can. I don't know if he can be slowed down by her. I don't know if he would waste his time. He needs someone who's not a fucking idiot.
Yeah, she makes Mike Pence look electric. You know,
Jesus Christ. You know, if you think about it, when you had Palin, the last two ones that were hot, the two hottest people that have run have been Palin and her. I mean, she's not. We don't know if she's going to be a VP candidate,
right?
But if she were, I don't know which one we could look at as worse. I remember about John McCain. He was like, "Don't talk. Whatever you do, don't fucking talk."
Yeah, and by the way, you're neglecting the fact that I think Geraldine Ferraro showed a little ankle once, but we'll move on past that.
Sure.
But I think that Kristi Noem would have been a great choice if the election were held a year ago and she didn't put out this stupid book. There isn't. I think Trump is not going to be swayed if he really wants her. But if you show him these clips, he's like, "Yeah, she's terrible. She's the worst."
Whoa. Damn. Yeah. He's like, I can't deal with this. I can't. He would not slow him because his train is kind of moving pretty fast right now.
Yeah.
I still think that despite all the shit going on with the trial, I still think that he's kind of in the driver's seat just because of Biden being such a piece of shit. I don't think he would waste his time with this fucking fog-headed ditz. Jesus Christ, is she horrible.
I hope that they add that as a pull quote on the jacket of the new version of the book. Eric Zane, she's a fog-headed ditz. All right. Well, let's go have some real fun over in the world of who are these sportscasters?
Home of the hourly triple play.
W-A-T-B, who are these sportscasters? Just listen and find out who are these sportscasters?
And really the big business in the world of sports was something that happened over the weekend, and that was Netflix's roast of Tom Brady. Have you had a chance to watch much of it? Have you just seen clips? What have you seen from it, Eric?
I've actually read the jokes, and I was like, these always, some of them, there was a period of time when roasts were kind of getting a little bit wore out. They were happening way too often, but this is ideal because A, it's live, B, it's one of the biggest sports names you can possibly get, and you've got big hitters that are taking the shots at him. That's why I thought that it was going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and I did watch all 3 hours of it, 3 hours and 4 minutes. And the comics who are there are great and very funny. Some of the athletes get some pretty good jokes in. Well, let me amend for a second. All the comics are good except for Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, and that's not based on past work. They really they had like a whole shtick, and it was like maybe they were reading it for the first time on the prompter.
No shit. Oh.
Yeah, they weren't great, but everybody else was great. And I could spend the whole rest of the show taking some of the best moments, but instead of that, I'm just going to show Tony Hinchcliffe. This is somebody on Twitter just took his jokes and cut out the reactions because if you don't know Tony Hinchcliffe, he does a show called Kill Tony. And that's exactly what he does. He just murders in this room. And I wanted to shout out Tony Hinchcliffe from the Tom Brady roast.
She took that pretty well.
She took that pretty well. They booed her when she got up on stage.
Oh.
She had some pretty good jokes, and I think there's a lot of that. But I mean, it was just like 5 minutes of nonstop. Tony Hinchcliffe just pounding away there. Yeah,
I love it. What I like most about roasts are the reactions when people just like. I always when they. They look a little bit butthurt, but at the same time, they're not. It's cool,
Yeah, it's good when people are getting roasted by their friends. Comedy Central did a roast of Chevy Chase once, and he legitimately, it was like Amy Schumer before people knew who she was, and it was a lot of like, who are these people that are roasting me? But that was the real joke, is that everybody that worked with Chevy hated him, so they didn't want to do his roast. There's one moment that I want to highlight before we move on from the roast. And Eric, I know you talked about this on your show yesterday, and I'm going to play it. There's a really shitty clip of this that's going around. So I'm going to take the chance of just playing it off Netflix. And what's the worst that could happen, right? Our episode gets struck and taken down. But I want people to be able to hear, and our video audience to be able to see. Jeff Ross comes out. He's dressed like O.J. Simpson being ushered into hell. It's great. He's killing. Even after this moment, he continues to kill. But, maybe not everything was as well received in the room as it was at home. We're loading.
Oh, I hate that. Oh boy.
So it's the only time it happened. And if not for that moment, I would say, oh my God, Tom Brady was such a great sport. They're talking about his ex-wife. They're talking about his other ex-wife. They're talking about his kids. Yeah, the fact that video where he's like kissed his son on the mouth. They talk about everything. And he was very cool, except for that moment right there. Yeah. And the one guy who wasn't uptight about that was Robert Kraft, or at least he knows to, show it off. So
I was floored by this. I was floored by this. Hey, in fact, he made asshole of the day because of that. And for the simple fact that he doesn't get pissed off about the things that we just talked about, but that crossed the line. That is bullshit. To me, it kind of put a bad vibe on the whole thing. I was shocked that he ruined the whole spell of the fucking roast.
Right. I knew about that clip before I saw the show. So that was kind of looming over the whole time that I was watching it. And look, credit to Netflix, credit to Tom Brady. That moment's not taken out because obviously people would be pissed. But what I want to know is what we each think about whether or not that's a real moment. Is Tom Brady pissed? And it's the perfect time to bring back one of our most beloved segments on this show.
Extraterrestrials, strange phenomena, missing persons, lost continents, myths, and monsters.
We examine these mysteries to determine, are they bullshit or not?
So I have some different accounts of the night that are going to make it very hard to decide, Eric. We're going to be the arbiters. We're the judge, jury, and executioner here. So Nikki Glaser, who, by the way, killed. She was great during this, but this is WATP. We're not showing videos of chicks actually being funny. We know where our bread's buttered. Right. But so she went on with Howard Stern yesterday. And he, for once, asked a good question of somebody in the studio with him.
When Jeff made that joke, but I do think that Tom actually was looking out for him. And I don't know. I don't think Jeff would. I hope he wouldn't mind me saying, like, yeah. Afterwards, he was a little like, was that too? Like, he was a little bit worried. I mean, we have consciences about these things. Afterwards we go, did that really hurt his feelings? And I go, no. He had to do it performatively for Robert, I'm sure, but I'm sure it was not an issue that Jeff is going to hear about today or anything like that.
Okay. So Nikki seems to think it was a real moment. That's if you don't speak female, that's what she would say. Yeah.
There was a lot of words there, but
there were a lot of words there. And her outfit was nowhere near as low cut as it was at the roast. So, again, my mind wandered. But let's go straight to the source. Rich Eisen had Jeffrey Ross on his show yesterday.
Okay.
Thing people are wondering about today, was Brady really pissed about you making a crack towards a massage joke?
Come on.
No?
Come on.
No?
No way. No way.
Because he came up, he said, knock that S off, Jeff.
Having fun.
Okay, good. Fantastic.
Fun, it's like that.
That may have come up at the roast of just how ugly Jeff Ross is. And I believe he was described as the dildo for the lesbian comedian who also killed. But so he's just saying, nah, come on.
Having fun.
Okay, good. Fantastic.
Having fun, it's like, that's his dad, that's like, Robert Kraft is like a father figure to him,
He's saying the opposite now.
For Robert Kraft.
Yeah. Well, you see, he's talking out both sides of his fucking grotesque mouth.
It is a pretty grotesque mouth. So here's the takeaway, and I want to ask the chat: do they think Brady was pissed? When I first saw the Jeff Ross clip, I thought, oh, maybe he wasn't pissed. But then it's like, I think he's just towing the company line. He doesn't want to throw Brady under the bus for saying that he would do this roast and putting up with 99% of the jokes. So do you stand by your awarding Tom Brady asshole of the week, Eric?
Absolutely, and you can see it. He was just waiting to get out of his seat. He couldn't believe that it happened. I think they probably if Jeff Ross is doing a roast and someone says, "Hey, no jokes about Robert Kraft." If Jeff Ross is worth anything, his first joke should be about Robert Kraft.
Right, of course.
Okay. So now I think he's just kind of like trying to do damage control because he wants to host more roasts, I don't know.
And I think the expectation is that Netflix is going to do a lot more of these. So, and look, he is the self-appointed roast master general. So I think that Brady was legitimately upset. But here's the thing. There were no more jokes the rest of the show about massages and Mr. Kraft. So, I think that he did actually get riled. Brady's set at the end was actually pretty funny. But we don't need to do anything to prop up Tom Brady.
No.
We're doing the opposite, Eric.
Actually, and I'm thinking about it after seeing Jeffrey Ross's face. My favorite roaster is Greg Giraldo. The late, great Greg Giraldo, who right now, his face in its current state looks better than Jeffrey Ross's.
And probably also roasting. So you see, it's all consistent, all across the board. But let us know what you think in the chat, super or otherwise. All right. This was a clip that I believe you sent me. This is the LSU baseball game, and I love this clip. And yes, I've since found the follow-up, so I'm kind of glad we didn't get to it last week. So let's let the play-by-play voice of the LSU Tigers tell us what happens here.
This is another one. A liner way back. Top row, left field bleachers. Tommy White. Pucker up again and kiss that baby goodbye. Is there any place on the field that he cannot hit a home run?
Oh. Boy, that ball was a rocket shot. Now, we got to turn our attention to that fan out in left field.
Wow,
took a
did that
Tommy
hit
White
him?
one to the noggin.
That guy looks woozy out there.
I mean, can we go check on him?
Here we go. Here's the
Watch
replay.
This is gone right there. As soon as he hits it, it's gone. He knows it. And it is a laser. Now watch the fan. He sees it coming. Oh, he tries to catch it.
Oh, no. What a...
But it's been quite a long time since he's played catch.
Oh, no. That fat bastard. Talk about his reaction time was such a piece of shit. He had it from home all the way to there. It took him that long to get his big fucking mitt up.
So
what a piece of shit.
He is a larger gentleman, and you don't need to say it looks like it's been a long time since he played catch. So I believe his name is Cody, and they did catch up with him after the game, which was not something that I would have had last week. So he's going to talk and do more than just describe what happened.
On a rope, and I've been carrying this glove with me for years, and I was like, okay, now's my time. I got one coming, and holding the glove, man. What can I say? Beamed off my dome, and here we are. I've got a nice little goose egg.
Can we see it?
Oh well, I mean, if you want to.
So again, for our audio audience, it's still bleeding.
Oh, that is so great.
And instead of, he's not one of those Metro guys who's going to go to the first aid tent and see if they can bandage it up. He just put his dirty LSU hat back on.
Oh, yeah. I love that guy. That guy, you know what? He might be a fat piece of shit, but he's exactly he is what he is.
He's so much more man than Tom Brady, going up to Jeffrey Ross and saying, hey, cut that shit out. And Yoda World says, sounds like Tukey doing a voice. Yeah, this guy does have a Tukey quality. Let's let him finish up.
Does it hurt?
It don't feel good.
I love that.
It felt like every bit of a 109-mile-an-hour fastball, home run ball, yes.
Did we get the ball afterwards? Or?
No, it skipped over the fence, but Josh Pearson, man, he's such a great guy. He came to toss me their toss ball that they do in between innings, so he tossed it to me.
Their toss ball. He threw them their toss ball.
For a second there, I thought that Vinny Paulino was doing a Southern accent.
Oh, well, it's not the worst thing that's happened in a ballpark in the last couple of weeks. I need to shout out our buddy Jody B. And I believe this was in Detroit. So I don't know if you've seen this, Eric, but don't spoil it for our audience who might not have.
Move it.
There's a goose on the field.
Oh, yeah. It's the dirt instead. Oh, yes.
Lands on the infield.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Quick.
Canada geese.
Yep.
Can't quite
they
get
will
that launch
fuck you
angle
up.
down yet. Working it. Nope. We ain't going anywhere. No.
Okay.
Worked all
got
night
away.
to get these seats.
This asshole bird.
And he's going to perch in left field. Nope.
All right. He's heading up.
There he goes. He gone.
Okay.
He's in cruise control now.
Attaboy, attaboy. Oh, that asshole.
Down goes the goose.
Oh, no.
Oh, poor thing.
Oh, what a fucking retard goose.
So they had to tell us after the fact that the goose was still alive.
Oh, no,
But
it's not.
He
Come
was a little
on.
stunned like Cody from LSU.
Oh, Jesus. That was incredible.
He's in cruise control now.
Oh!
Right into the scoreboard. Down
Fucking
goes the goose.
shit. Oh,
the poor thing.
Look at that chick. She's like, I can't believe it, Roy. Look at this thing. Jesus Christ.
There's feathers flying all around her. It's everything about this video is
Right into the
amazing.
scoreboard.
Yes,
Down
and
goes
boy,
the goose.
boy, did that thing
That's-
flutter
poor
down. Oh, God, look at his feathers everywhere and shit. Oh.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
yeah. It's
Well, yeah, it reminds me of like that. Remember when Randy Johnson threw that 1,000-mile-an-hour fastball and it hit the bird, and then all of the feathers actually came off the bird. It was like
Yes.
Foghorn Leghorn when the TNT would go off. Oh, Jesus Christ, is that incredible?
Oh, all right. Well, obviously the NBA playoffs are raging on, and the problem when you're home to most of the playoff games is that you're up late waiting for the end of the West Coast games, which Charles Barkley did not appreciate. This was a couple weeks ago when the Lakers were still in the playoffs.
130 paint points between the two teams tonight. Just 30 from three-point line. What's up?
Are we just gonna stay on TV till LeBron come out the shower?
No, we've got
because we got stuff to do.
We like Shaq.
It's 1:19.
Like Shaq and the fool.
Are we just gonna sit here until LeBron? LeBron, get your ass out the shower.
Kenny Smith. Okay, so there's rumors that he may be going to another network or some shit.
Who, Barkley?
Yeah.
I mean, if the whole show goes to another network, it works. If you were to cherry pick them and move them anywhere else,
right?
It doesn't work anymore. It's,
I don't give a fuck about basketball. I only give a fuck about those four guys. It's fucking beautiful. Jesus Christ, I love that show so much.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's I don't follow the NBA, but I love clips of inside the NBA. Well, before we wind things down, and I know our buddy Reverend Shitstain is supposed to join us for just a couple of minutes at the end of the show, but we've got a few clips to look at very quickly from the recent NFL draft. And this was one that you sent me. The parents of Brian Thomas Jr. So I'm assuming this is Brian Thomas Sr. Asked a fairly simple question, which got a fairly simple answer, Eric.
How far has this family come? We came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. When you think about the journey that you've been on together.
Okay, let me use a different word. Journey.
It means the world. It's amazing. I'm so grateful to God, so happy for him. We are so proud of him.
I'm waiting for Dad to say, you have to excuse me. She's a dumb bitch.
Yeah. Oh, my God. How far have we come? From Baton Rouge?
You idiot. Oh, my God.
So this was one that started making the rounds. It was definitely meme-worthy. Joe Alt, I believe from Notre Dame, was drafted by the Chargers. And look at the reaction to both Joe Alt, but also Joe Alt's girlfriend as we watch this clip.
The Los Angeles Chargers select Joe Alt, tackle, Notre Dame.
What an offensive line they're putting together there. The bookends, there he is. Joe Alt started 33 straight games for the Irish at left tackle and dominated, unanimous first-team All-American last year.
So less than enthusiastic. Would you think that that's the way to describe that?
Yeah, that is something. And boy, that girlfriend, she's a weirdo. Look at her. Fuck.
Well, I'm glad you gave me that opportunity because I did want to share the girlfriend there because she definitely became a meme in the days after this, and we got to get a good look at her completely zoomed in meme form, and that face, I think, is going to live on long past Joe Alt's career.
Yes. Wow, that is.
Yeah.
How about JFK Head Chunk says he needs to be Joe Alt. Delete her.
Jesus Christ, JFK Head Chunk. That's fantastic.
Excellent writing. And by the way, he had this one too with the previous clip about we came from Baton Rouge. We stopped twice for gas.
This one is a purely visual reaction. A Chargers fan, a Packers fan is not excited about their pick.
Green Bay Packers and hosts for the 2025 NFL Draft select Jordan Morgan, tackle, Arizona.
This cheesehead.
3-year starter at left
Just
tackle for Arizona.
mouth
He's been
agape,
training to play
eyes
on the
wide
right
open,
side
stupid
as
cheesehead
well
on his
at
head.
guard, so the versatility is there. That
Lions
particular
fans
cheesehead
called him a
doesn't seem
loser. Is that
friends
Flavor
were-
Flav?
Jordan Morgan tore the ACL.
It's either Flavor Flav or a guy who knows where Natalie Holloway is buried. So we've got one more. Detroit was the host for the NFL draft this year, and when you're the host city, you can possibly have the mayor come and speak. In this case, it was the governor. And what I learned about Michigan is that what's her name? Gretchen Wilson?
Whitmer.
Gretchen Whitmer. Not that popular.
No.
Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, also known as Big Gretch.
All right, Detroit, let's hear it.
You're hearing it already, Gretchen. Big Gretch.
It has been a historic week here in the great city of Detroit.
Anyway, look, when you come out to a course of booze, all you can do is just press him.
Yeah.
You can't address him.
We've virtually experienced that every time these cameras go on. These losers that hate us, that's what they're doing in their brains. These 97 people, which is like 5 times the amount of what we normally get, they hate us. And that's what we experience on a regular basis. And we love that shit.
We do. Your hate only makes us stronger. Also making us stronger is our buddy Reverend Shitstain. So thank you for being here. He has an amazing away screen, which of course is a big skull. So
I could hit the off button. There we go.
There you go. So Reverend Shitstain, we're going to spend a few minutes visiting again with our friend Gail Chord Schuler. For our audience who maybe didn't see last time or isn't familiar with her, remind us of just who this crazy bitch is and why she's so fascinating.
Well, I would recommend everybody goes back and watches 2 episodes ago when we discussed Mrs. Gail Chord Schuler to get the full story. But long story short, she's an internet schizophrenic whose medications don't work quite right. Her trolls have basically become her helper handlers that assist her in not going completely off the deep end. And she's currently in a long-standing battle against Lizzo, the fat black woman artist who is the current Antichrist leader of the Jesuits, who is spreading her cum through the trees of America in the forests. And if you see white splotches of mold, that's actually Jesuit Lizzo cum, and it will infect you with Jesuitism. Whatever.
By the way, let me just pause for a second. That's the part of what she says that makes 100% sense to me. Again, as I said last time, Lizzo the Antichrist, definitely infecting people. Yeah, I'm on board for all of it. So let's see what we've got here. This is a little bit more of what we had last time. So here, now this is August 5th, 2014.
Yes,
and,
she's been at this for many years.
Yeah. So we're going to do a few of these. But don't worry, Eric, there's more of our friend Gail here. But let's visit with her a little bit more. And anytime you want me to pause so you can explain or comment, either of you, let me know.
An emergency roundup brought all the male church members to the infirmaries. The lines wrapped around the entire medical floor. I must have worked 24 hours.
Pause it.
Yep.
I would like to immediately right off the bat. Clarify, her church, the Church of Gail, is actually a Starship Enterprise type, ship that floats around in space, and it's inhabited by all the Church of Gail members, which are all her men and Patreon members and such. And it has been destroyed once, and there's the second Church of Gail floating around, and it has been infiltrated before by Lizzo.
It's all easy to follow, isn't it, Eric?
I'm just taking it all in and trying to process it.
Okay.
Shift that day, taking diagnostic inspections of the genitals of every single man on board.
Just wanted to make sure you heard, that everyone in the audience heard. She was inspecting the genitals of every single man on board.
Some had been afflicted with strange diseases. Others were malformed and bent. The men on the marriage list suffered the worst. My own penis had 16.5 fractures. So
her penis had.
I've wondered, because is she doing this all off the top of her head, or is this how she's all written down?
It looks like she's. If you look in her eyes, it looks like she's reading.
This is a Skype conversation that she's had with one of her men that she's reading back. So it's not her 13.5-inch penis. This is one of her married men talking to her through Skype.
It was the first time that I was into her. What was that super chat, Eric?
This is the leader of what you're going to sign off with.
Okay.
Joe Alt's girlfriend is a stone cold fox. Hope I don't jack off.
I mean, I've definitely come to worse. Let's go back to the video.
Mutilated, it looked like an accordion. Matthew McConaughey had a flesh-eating bacterial infection of his penis, causing it to continually shrink as it became eaten away.
So, Reverend Shitstain, as someone who is a scholar of former Tonight Show announcer John Melendez, you'll notice that she's also wiping her nose during the broadcast and not thinking, oh, maybe we should do another take and have me not wipe my nose while my camera.
All her stuff in one long take, no cuts, no edits, and she never goes back to do it again. So you'll have some videos where she will literally start over 5 minutes through and repeat every word for word.
Some would think that this could be getting tedious, but I'm more and more in love with her the more she talks.
Terrence Jenkins' penis became white and circumcised. Gerard Butler developed late-stage penis cancer, turning his whole penis into a deadly tumor. Keanu Reeves' penis had...
Sorry, who was that? Keanu Reeves? Oh, from Bill and Ted and The Matrix. Keanu. Okay.
Grown massively long and bent that it burrowed its way into his own anus. Hugh Jackman was hesitant about pulling down his pants, and when I asked what was wrong, Gerard whispered to me that it was his trouser snake. I assumed because of Gerard's heritage, he was from Scotland, he was merely using that as a euphemism. But when Hugh finally gave in and dropped his pants, everyone in the infirmary turned and gasped in shock as his penis had in fact transformed into a live snake. To be perfectly specific, it was a spitting cobra. The skin of its neck flared open, its jaws parted, and I heard Matthew let out a high-pitched squeal as he received a shot of venom right in his eye.
Wow. Can you imagine if they have to invite her over for family dinner and just God,
she doesn't get to go to family dinner anymore.
I can't imagine. Yeah, at Thanksgiving, it's like no, I'm gonna go sit either on the porch or at the kids' table. I'm not gonna go sit next to Aunt Gail.
There's a whole nother set of lore with her sister trying to mess with her to get money out of her for disability and all that. I won't even go into it.
And the thing is, she looks so run-of-the-mill, ho-hum, humdrum, normal. It looks like any lady you'd see at the grocery store. What the fuck?
If you talk to her in real life, if you ever happen to meet up with her, as I know that you would love to, Mr. Zane, she is a completely normal person. She doesn't talk about any of this stuff. She never mentions any of it in her normal day-to-day beings because her trolls, her handlers, basically have gotten to her and said, just keep all this to yourself. Nobody else needs to know about any of this.
Wow. That is
so she goes about her day completely normal.
So they basically just control her. It's like having your own fucking drone to do whatever the fuck you want with, except it's a person.
Good, believe me. They've gotten her moved into a steady apartment with real living and income and such like that.
Is it that different than what they do with Biden, Reverend Shitstain? It seems like it might follow a similar blueprint.
Well, Gail,
Hey,
she
sorry.
runs the world. She's the empress of the world. So, I mean, yeah, they're both powerful leaders. She'll tell you that Joe Biden is not the president, though. That's all an illusion made up by the Jesuits and their fake news.
Well, now she's making sense again. So you see, there's even a broken clock is right twice a day. JFK Head Chunk said she sounds like she's reading Kristi Noem's book. I'm afraid to go to the next clip because I know we want to wind things down. But
no, let's go.
We'll do one more and then we'll save it for another time.
Don't you blue ball me?
Yeah, we're gonna definitely blue ball you a little bit. Back. Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Really glad I went to it. Okay, well, we need to let everybody know who's just listening.
It's Anthony Cumia with the wig.
That's exactly. And she's holding scissors. And that is not some of the finest blackface I've ever seen.
No.
She's doing this. So she was contacted and scammed by a bunch of like overseas credit card scammers and whatever.
Fair.
And her trolls told her, well, you're giving into a ghetto type mentality because she had just seen a couple of like, gang movies or whatever. She's like, oh, okay, so ghetto mentality is letting your credit cards get scammed. I have to destroy my credit cards once and for all.
Yeah.
And to this day, she doesn't have credit cards.
Well, no, nor should she, by the way. Justin Trudeau could show her a thing or two about how to put on blackface.
The hood mentality is a crippling disease that attacks your nervous system.
So now she's cutting up an American Express.
It makes you nervous of the system. Gangsters and hood rats are especially susceptible to this growth-stunting mentality.
I think she's speaking to our audience right now, Eric, talking
The
about
hood is where I'm from, but it's not what I am.
She's got like 5 credit cards. She had a
The
lot
hood
of
is where I'm from.
a lot of credit cards. I don't even think Zumach has so many credit cards.
What I am.
Christ. Wow. I think that one was a library card.
There's like 10 more minutes to that video, by the way. I cut it up very early.
Thank you. Reverend Shitstain, you do, I don't know that you're a reverend, so you do the Lord's work. And I mean, my brother got ordained so he could perform my wedding. So I assume you were able to just fill out a form and pay $20 and now you're a reverend. But we are going to continue keeping an eye on Gail. And somebody on the Discord said that she feels like more of a who are these socials kind of a subject, but they've been afraid to tackle her. Only who are these broadcasters has been ready to take on Gail so far, right, Reverend Shitstain?
Carl's probably just afraid of me more so. So he'd rather have you guys be the guinea pigs.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm always a little nervous every time I send you the link. I always wonder what's gonna happen.
Nothing will ever happen. I promise you.
I'm not worried.
You're
anymore.
fine. We can't dip down to that level of that political hack talk show. That's
no. Don't worry. Next week when I come on with Ojeda, it will get political.
Yeah, so that's a great tease. So next week we're gonna have the Army Major. I always want to call him Bobby Ojeda from the Mets, but Richard Ojeda, and somebody else was on with him, right?
Yes, Mr. Brian Karam, the 20-year lapdog for Playboy at the press corps, who has a son who is a failed stand-up comedian, and John has been signal boosting him with his remaining connections on social media. And oh Lord, is that some comedy?
Well, other than on our Discord, Reverend Shitstain, where can people find you? And obviously this show next week at this time. Where else can people
as
find
per
you?
usual, my stuff is all video game whatever. So yeah, I'll be around in the WATP verse. I would like to shout out though the BYB podcast. Mr. Quad has been going on with John a lot recently, fucking with them in very subtle ways. I appreciate that. Good on you, Quad. Dabble Storian. Good on you guys. And also WATS is going to be on tomorrow, right? So everybody
Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Thursdays. I think I'd remember
Pacific. That. Yeah, that's when WATS is on. Yeah.
That's all.
All right. Carl Hamburger, HAMBURGER. He ain't scared of you, Reverend Shitstain. So jump over in the chat for WATS on Thursday at 6 p.m. And Reverend Shitstain, just like everyone, should go to hackamania.com and use a promo code WATP for 20% off tickets May 31st, June 1st, and 2nd in Las Vegas. WATP will be there, The Creep Off, Melton, even Ray DeVito. How can you turn down a trip to Vegas if you're going to be in a room with Ray DeVito? The answer, Eric Zane, is you can't. Eric, where can people find you and all of your wares online?
Easiest thing to do is wherever you download shows, search the Eric Zane Show podcast. And I do a show daily. It's free, Monday through Friday, and you can check it out there.
And my show, The Blackcast, BLADTCAST. And our latest episode, I talked to confirmed middler Don Jameson about his #1 album, No Sleep Till McSorley's. And we had a great time chatting over there. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe to the audio version of this show, wherever podcasts are found. And don't forget also, go to whoarethese.com, find the voicemail, leave us a voicemail. We've had one voicemail in 40 weeks of the show.
40 weeks.
So if you leave a voicemail, say well, unless Carl's just hiding them from us. But I know Carl. He's not hiding them from us.
I'll call in then.
Thank you. Just say it's for WATB. That's the difference. So in any case, that's all the show we have for this week. I'm Christian Bladt, reminding you that every mic is a hot mic, but Joe Alt's girlfriend is a stone cold fox. I hope I don't jack off. See you next Tuesday.